Everybody ready? All right, let's get this thing going after all these years. Well, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm Joe Madison. I'm a new vice president of the Brattleboro Music Center board and proud of it. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to today's groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the visible beginning of a new milestone in the BMC's remarkable journey. Today we're among friends. Take a look around. I know you know all each other, and I'm still meeting you all, and I'm looking forward to that. We're among friends, and we're celebrating two important BMC milestones: the start of construction on our new music school and the auditorium, and the 40th anniversary of the founding of the music school. It's an opportunity for us to look back with pride and appreciation of our history and of all the people who have brought us to this moment. Many of you are here today. At the same time, this gathering is a time for us to look forward. You may have noticed that you are sitting on the very ground where our new auditorium will be built. That's cool. A year from now, this campus will become the musical home for our enjoyment and for the benefit of many generations of music lovers to come. It's an honor to be a part of the BMC team that is working together, each of us in our own way, to ensure a vibrant future for music in our community. Thank you for being part of the BMC's team. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, today we are honored to have a special guest, a guest from long ago and far away, to celebrate with us. He's a world-famous musician and needs no introduction. I believe many of you will recognize him since he and the BMC have had quite a long love affair. I think I see him coming now. Let's see. Look back. Here he comes. Please welcome JS Bach, a.k.a. Jim for short.
Best work. Thank you. I am most appreciative of your attention to my music over these many years. Of course, there is a small matter of the residuals, but we'll take care of that another day. Today is for festivity and celebration. I asked the kids to come, but I don't know where they are. I don't know who they are. There are too many of them. Their names are too complicated. I don't know why we couldn't have been. You'd think the music would have kept me busy enough. In any case, welcome to you all, and welcome also today to one of the important people that bring us here, President of the BMC Board of Trustees, whose skill and leadership, almost as good as mine, have brought us here. Gene Giddings, President of the Board.
Bach, for that wonderful, kind introduction. And thank you everyone for being here with us for this wonderful event as we break ground and launch the construction of a splendid and long-awaited new home for the BMC. This is an exciting and very satisfying occasion, especially for the many of us here who have been personally involved. You can't hear me, huh?
Got you now.
Oh, darn. Personally involved we've been. Not only in finding a location for this site, but in coming up with the concept and shaping the new BMC campus, but in organizing and directing the capital campaign that made it possible for us to afford this. You may not have this fact at a high level in your consciousness, but the whole and entire legal name of our organization is Friends of the Brattleboro Music Center, Inc. for reasons lost to history or perhaps to be found in Paul Olson's files in the basement of Fitz Olson and Giddings. But that name is appropriate since today we are celebrating friends. Friends who share our vision and aspiration for the future of the BMC. Friends who recognize the important artistic and educational role that the BMC plays in this region. Our friends on the faculty who are now and will inspire the next generation to make its own notable musical contribution. Our friends on the BMC staff who contribute so much each day to the running of this organization, and the artistic directors of our programs, all of whom, by the way, are responsible for bringing us this wonderful celebration. Our artistic advisors, Jamie Laredo and Sharon Robinson. Friends who have served on the BMC as board members, committee members, and devoted many years of persistence and hard work in creating a new BMC home. I know many of you have worked on that committee and have come back to see this come to fruition. And I especially want to recognize the members of the current building and capital campaign committees. And generous friends who have stepped up to give their support because they believed in the BMC and in the worthiness of this building project. We are so grateful to you all. There'll be more opportunities for applause, for clapping. There are several friends whose extraordinary philanthropy is making these buildings possible. Simply put, they are transforming the BMC's dream of having a new home into a reality. Please join me in publicly acknowledging the vision and leadership of Janet Wallstein, the Snyder family, Liz and Prentice Smith, Lisa and Doug Cox, and Harriet and Roland Fisher, whose bequest helped us build the BMC's endowment and contributed to the base of the building campaign. Yeah. Now we do have plans of the building over there, but I wanted to point out that the new BMC Music Campus is going to feature an abundance of acoustically designed teaching studios with a home for percussion and a rehearsal space for all our performance groups. Both a recital hall for student and faculty performances and small ensembles, and a performance quality auditorium with seating which can accommodate as many as 224. We'll have a professional music library, archive and inventory of instruments and music. And best of all, as those of you who attempted the staircases at Walnut Street will recognize, both buildings will be accessible for those with wheelchairs and walkers and large, bulky instruments. Those of us who work in downtown Brattleboro will point out parking. None of that would be possible without your hard work and dedication. Thank you for all that you've done and will continue to do in the upcoming year. And speaking of creating music, it's a pleasure to turn the program over to longtime BMC faculty member and director of the BMC's concert choir, Susan Dedell, who's prepared something special for this occasion.
So I really don't want to take responsibility for this because it's just a bit of fun. I just will say one of the best things about being at the BMC is having wonderful colleagues. It really is like a family, and we love each other all so very much. So we're going to sing kind of a baldernized version of Jeremiah Engel's New Jerusalem, which is a piece from the Sacred Harp. And so we've got all our folkies up here, and some of us wannabes as well.
Lo, what a glorious sight appears to our believing eyes.
The BMC
is here at last. We're cheering to the sky.
The BMC is here at last. We're cheering to the skies.
We're cheering to the skies.
The BMC
is here at last. We're cheering to the skies. The BMC is here at last. We're cheering to the skies. We're cheering to the skies. From that first home on Walnut Street, that crowded, noisy place,
We've grown into
a brand new home adore.
shining shining grace.
We've grown into a brand new home adorned with shining grace. Adorned with shining grace. We've grown into a brand new home adorned with shining grace.
Shining grace.
We've grown into a brand new home adorned with shining grace. Adorned with shining grace.
Good afternoon. My name is Austin Smith. I'm with Scott Simons Architects, and I have two partners, Scott Simons and Chris Berry. And in October 14th of 2009, Scott, Chris, and Ben Markham, our acoustical consultant, interviewed for this job. And very fortunately, we got it. And we've been working with you for 8 years, many plans, and down the road. And fortunately, we ended up with the Winston Prouty, which is a godsend. I know it's not much to look at, but it has very good bones. And toilets. It's got lots and lots of toilets. We're going from 1 toilet to 12 toilets, so it's a huge improvement. But really, we looked at Winston Prouty, and it had 8,000 square feet. And we needed 10,000 for the school and 4,000 for the auditorium. But it really worked out well because our program of 10,000 feet allowed us to put new construction on the front of the building, housing a new lobby, a new recital space with a 14-foot ceiling, and also new piano studios. So as you come down what used to be the Winston Prouty Way, you'll see all new construction. And we'll have a purpose-built auditorium performance space for the first time, which will be wonderful. So I quickly wanted to recognize the team because it's not me alone, but our studio, Tom Apple, who's the owner's rep, and SVE, which are the site civil consultants, both John Goodell and Monroe Whitaker, Structural Integrity, who are the structural engineers, WV engineers, who are the MEP, mechanical, electric, and plumbing, and of course Syntec, who were sort of instrumental in our design and advising us on acoustics and performance spaces. And then finally, DEW Construction Corporation. They are our construction managers. They become team members. They advise us on constructability, cost, and schedule. And speaking of schedule, it's sort of astounding to me. We sit here today, we're breaking the ground, and in 286 days, we're going to have the ribbon cutting right here on the site. So it's amazing. So we're rolling, and this is just so encouraging. Can't wait. Thank you.
All right.
I don't quite understand why everyone is dressed the way they are, but that's the way it is. It's my pleasure at this point to introduce to you one of the principal players in the ensemble, if you will accept that word, that has brought us here not only on our efforts for the building, our efforts for programming, our efforts for fundraising, but on a day-to-day basis administering an organization as vital and important as this one. The managing director, Mary Green.
I can't see you, but it's so wonderful to have you all here today. The coming year, as you all know, is going to be a truly important one for the BMC. There's a lot of construction ahead, more funds that need to be raised to complete both of these splendid buildings. How much, you ask? Just in case the right person is here today, we're looking for $1.5 million. First, to finish the buildings by the end of next year, actually by this time next year. Second, to establish a special endowed building fund to care for the property in perpetuity. And third, to refurbish the BMC's collection of pianos and other instruments so that when we bring them from Walnut Street, they will be ready to go here on Guilford Street. In short, once again, we're on a mission. I encourage you to help by giving,
I'm
please.
encouraged. I'm encouraged. My kids, all of them, wanted me to make a special. Wait a minute. Here it is.
Yes!
Of course, it's very easy for them to spend my money. I reduced it by the residuals.
Oh, thank you. Well, there'll be some people who will be asked to give again. Please tell your family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors about this project, this important project in our community. Please introduce the BMC to new friends of music who are coming to town. Come to our concerts. Volunteer. Refer new students to the BMC. There are so many ways to help. Oh, there's page 2. Hang on. And more than anything, I look forward to standing here with you and the staff and all our colleagues upon the successful completion of this project. And we're going to cut ribbon together in 2017. We're about to break ground very soon, but before we do that, a couple of announcements. First, after this ceremony, stay and have some snacks with us. We'll be giving tours of the building. We want you to come along. And second, this is important, we have a plan. You're an important part of it. There'll be an official groundbreaking photo, and after that, we want all of you to come up and join us here for a photo that will capture this day for the history of the town and our dear organization. So hold on for that. And now, it's a great honor and a joy for me to introduce Doug Cox, Chair of the Capital Campaign, to lead the groundbreaking. Thank you, Doug.
We are all very privileged to be here for this event today. Early in my involvement with this process, I came across a line in The Human Condition by Hannah Arendt to the effect that no society can expect excellence in any activity unless it provides a place for its exercise. First off, when I saw this, the word excellence jumped out at me, and that word always reminds me of Blanche Moïse. And not only her passion for excellence, but also her insistence that high quality and broad community participation are inherently compatible. Not incompatible, but compatible. The exciting part about the Arendt thought for me is that it says that we shape the future of our society by the investments that we make. The places that we provide for practice, for exploration, for inspiration. For 2 generations, those before us have invested their time, their talent, their passion, and their money in building the community that is now the BMC. A place where human capacity for music has been discovered, has been unleashed, and is deeply nurtured. We are the beneficiaries of this investment, and the effects have been for us to have a world, a more wonderful world that we inhabit, both inside in our interpersonal lives, in our families, and in this incredibly rich community that we have around us. It is our opportunity and our privilege in this generation to put physical foundations under the human community that has already so lovingly been built, that is the BMC. To ensure that the place of music in shaping our community and the lives of those within it will go forward for generations to come. But before we build those foundations, we need to dig the hole where those foundations are going to go. So I would like to invite the following folks who have done so much to get us to this place and will help us complete the job going forward to join me in lifting the first bits of earth. Maestro Bach, would you please come forward? You bring us the inspiration and the power of music, so go get a shovel and a hard hat.
They've said my music needed a shovel now and then.
Gene Giddings, our organizational leadership. Dave Snyder, who has been on the front lines getting us here in so many different ways. Janet Wallstein, whose vision, commitment, and great generosity from the beginning have allowed us to move forward. Prentice Smith, whose lead donorship very early in the process got us started and it made us aware that we can succeed at this. Austin Smith, providing us with design excellence. Robin Sweetapple, the chair of our building committee that has worked so hard. Tom Apple, our project manager. Donald Wells, president of DEW Construction, our contractor. Mary Green, our executive director. And Lisa Cox, who for me makes all things possible. So, yep, and the way this will work is that after we have broken ground, we do ask all of you, everyone, to come up and stand behind so that we have a record of our community, because this is about our whole community. And following that, we will have some group photos for trustees to be followed by former trustees to be added to that circle, the building committee and the capital campaign committee.
Over your shoulders.